Today's challenger walked into the courtroom and didn't even need a lawyer. It wrote its own opening statement. Ladies and gentlemen, artificial intelligence. Right now, open whatever app you used last on your phone. Chances are, something on that screen was suggested to you, sorted for you, or written with help from a system that wasn't even there 10 years ago. You didn't choose that. It chose that for you in about 4 milliseconds. That's not some sci-fi future scenario. That's just your typical Wednesday. Here's the part that should genuinely bother you. Nobody sat you down and asked permission before your photo app started recognizing your dog. Nobody asked before your inbox started finishing your sentences. Nobody warned you before your Maps app started rerouting you around traffic it predicted before it even happened. Artificial intelligence didn't arrive with a press conference and a ribbon cutting. It arrived quietly, buried inside software updates you clicked through without reading. And now it is the invisible hand behind almost every single screen you touch. Every single one. Now, of course, fire, electricity, the wheel, and the printing press show up like the old guard they are, the inventions that literally built the stage everyone else performs on. Nobody's arguing they don't matter. But today's real fight isn't with the ancient legends. It's with two inventions you would never expect to see in this courtroom. The kind of matchup that makes people pause the video and go, wait, really? That one? And that is exactly why this episode is going to get interesting. Here's the core difference between artificial intelligence and basically everything else humanity has ever built, legends included. Every other invention is a tool. Powerful tools, world-changing tools, but tools. You pick them up, you use them, you put them down. Artificial intelligence is the first invention in human history that can pick itself up. It learns, it improves, without you touching it. You don't sharpen it, you don't upgrade it manually, you just leave it running and it gets better while you sleep. That has never happened before. Not once in human history. So what did it actually replace? And what did it create? Let's start small. Spam filters that quietly destroy 99% of junk mail before it ever reaches your eyes. Translation apps that turn a foreign menu into your language in real time. No phrasebook, no awkward pointing, no guessing. Then go bigger. Doctors using AI to catch tumors in scans that trained human eyes miss roughly 1 in 10 times. Drug discovery that used to take a full decade is now being screened in months, and we have already reached the point where drugs designed by AI, not by humans, are being tested on human beings. Let that sit for a second. Chess engines that haven't lost to a single human being since the early 2000s and now produce moves so advanced they don't even bother explaining them in terms we fully understand, because the moves just work. Think of artificial intelligence like a brand new sense that humans never had before. The way your eyes process light or your ears process sound without you consciously working at it, AI is starting to process patterns in medicine, language, and logistics the exact same effortless way. Automatically, instantly, continuously. Here's a number I need you to actually sit with for a second. In 2012, the best image recognition systems on Earth misidentified photos around 15% of the time. Humans were still better. By 2015, 3 years later, the machines beat us. And they have kept beating us every single year since. 3 years. That's how long it took to completely flip an entire category of human superiority on its head. Okay, stop. Seriously, stop scrolling. Pull up your last 10 messages, your last 10 searches, your last 10 purchases. How many of them were touched, shaped, filtered, or ranked by an algorithm before you ever laid eyes on them? I'm not asking you to feel bad about it. I'm just asking you to actually notice it. Because most people never do, until someone forces them to look.
Okay, let's run the time travel test, because this one is genuinely wild. Grab someone from 1975. Let's call him Jimmy. Sit Jimmy down, hand him a smartphone. The phone alone is going to baffle him, but stay with me. Have him speak into it and name the greatest athlete alive right now. Then show him what AI does with that name. Career stats across every season, every record broken down, a fully generated video compilation of their greatest moments. All of it. In seconds. Jimmy's eyes go wide, a smile creeps across his face, and then the classic. That's remarkable. All of that from a device the size of a candy bar. But we're not done with Jimmy yet. Then you show him a car driving itself through the streets of modern downtown New York City. Nobody touching the wheel, nobody nervous, just the car completely handling it. Then, just to really finish him off, you show him a video of a person who has never existed in his life or anyone else's. Talking, blinking, smiling, looking directly into the camera, and saying, "Oh, hi Jimmy, how's your day going?" Generated completely from scratch in under 60 seconds. Jimmy is not impressed. Jimmy's mind is completely gone. That is not a man having a moment. That is a man having a full breakdown. Okay, allow me to slip in a quick word on the legends before the real fight starts. Fire gave humans control over heat and energy. And by the way, every server farm running AI on the planet right now is, underneath it all, still just boiling water with electricity. So technically, AI owes its entire existence to fire. Electricity gave humans control over power itself, and without it, the smartest AI on Earth is an incredibly expensive paperweight, not even a useful one. The wheel gave humans control over distance, and is still doing its job completely unchanged 5,000 years later, which is honestly embarrassing for everything else on this list. And the printing press gave humans control over the spread of knowledge, breaking the monopoly that kings and churches held over information for centuries. All four reshaped civilization in ways that still echo today. But not one of them, not a single one, can do what AI does, which is improve itself without a human in the room. That is the line none of the legends ever crossed, and it's exactly why today's real competition comes from somewhere else entirely. Now, the actual competitors step into the ring, and they do not go down easy. The automobile pulls up first, and doesn't even bother being humble about it. Before cars existed, your entire life happened within walking distance, or however far a horse could carry you before it collapsed. That was it. That was your world. The automobile didn't just move people, it completely rearranged where humans were physically allowed to exist. Suburbs exist because of the automobile. Road trips exist because of the automobile. The entire physical structure of modern cities, the highways, the parking lots, the drive-thrus, all of it was designed around one invention's ability to move a single person 60 miles in an hour, alone, on their own schedule, whenever they wanted. Nothing else on this list gave individual human beings that much personal control over their own geography, and that includes the wheel it was built on top of. So how does artificial intelligence respond to that? It doesn't fight the automobile on distance. That's not the play. Instead, it points out that the automobile is now becoming one of AI's most impressive students. Self-driving systems are quietly logging more highway miles than most professional truckers will see in an entire career, doing it with reaction times measured in milliseconds, not seconds, milliseconds. The automobile conquered physical distance for one person at a time. AI is starting to conquer the actual act of driving itself, which means the automobile's single greatest achievement might end up being the thing AI eventually takes over completely. That's not a loss for the automobile, that's a compliment. A terrifying one, but still a compliment.
And here's the argument that should genuinely make AI supporters a little nervous. The automobile didn't need AI to become the most essential object in modern life. It got there on pure mechanical merit, decades before anyone wrote a single line of neural network code. And today, billions of people still trust their physical lives, every commute, every road trip, every school pickup, to a machine that has absolutely zero understanding of what the word intelligence even means. AI still has to earn that level of trust. The steering wheel already has it. Last up, and I promise you this one is going to surprise you, the dishwasher steps into the ring. Go ahead and laugh. I'll give you a second. Done? Good. Because here's the thing. The dishwasher doesn't have fire's ancient mythology. It doesn't have the automobile's open highway or its cultural romance. What it has is something quietly devastating that almost nobody in these debates ever talks about. For most of human history, washing dishes by hand was a daily, unpaid, completely invisible labor tax, and it fell overwhelmingly on women. Studies on household time use after dishwashers became common found that automating that one single chore freed up roughly an hour of unpaid labor every single day for millions of people. An hour a day, every day, for an entire lifetime. That is years, actual years of someone's life handed back to them. The dishwasher didn't change civilization with a headline or a press release. It changed civilization one quiet evening at a time by letting people walk away from the kitchen after dinner instead of standing at a sink for 45 minutes, alone, every night. So how does artificial intelligence respond to that? Very carefully, because underestimating quiet, unglamorous progress is exactly the mistake people kept making about AI for decades. The dishwasher freed an hour a day from one specific physical task. Artificial intelligence is starting to automate entire categories of mental labor, the repetitive thinking work that used to consume someone's entire afternoon, scheduling, research, first drafts of emails nobody wanted to write in the first place. The dishwasher gave people back time after dinner. AI is starting to give people back time during the actual workday, and unlike a dishwasher, it doesn't need you to load it first. But, and this is the part that should make AI supporters genuinely uncomfortable, the dishwasher has one quiet rebuttal that is almost impossible to argue with. A dishwasher has never once in its entire existence given someone a wrong answer with total confidence. It either cleans the plate or it doesn't. No in between. No hallucinating a clean result and presenting it like a fact. AI, for all of its extraordinary power, still occasionally tells you something completely wrong while sounding 100% sure of itself. The dishwasher earned trust through perfect, boring, absolute reliability. AI is still earning that same trust, one mistake at a time.
And here's the part of this whole conversation that should make you a little uncomfortable about yourself. We talk about artificial intelligence like it's some distant, sinister force slowly creeping toward us from the future. But most people's actual daily relationship with AI looks exactly like this. Spending 10 minutes complaining about algorithms manipulating their attention, then opening that same app 40 more times before lunch. Look, to be accurate, we worry loudly about AI taking over the world, then quietly ask it to write the awkward text we don't want to send ourselves. We built something powerful enough to reshape how billions of human beings think, perceive, and decide. And our primary use case on most days is asking it to settle an argument about a movie actor's name or write a slightly funnier birthday message for a coworker we barely know. The smartest tool humanity has ever created, and we mostly use it like a very patient, extremely overqualified friend who never gets tired of our questions and never judges us for asking the same one 3 times in a row. Humanity is genuinely something else. But here's what nobody wants to admit out loud. We are already dependent on it, not heading toward dependence, already there, right now, today. Think about the last time you made a significant decision completely on your own. No Google search, no GPS, no algorithm-ranked review, no AI-assisted anything. For most people, that answer is genuinely uncomfortable because that moment is getting harder and harder to find. We didn't sign up to become dependent on artificial intelligence. It just happened, quietly, the same way it always does. One convenient feature at a time, until one day you realize you haven't had to remember a phone number, navigate without assistance, or write an email entirely from scratch in years. And the wildest part? Nobody's complaining, because it works. It actually works. And that might be the most powerful argument artificial intelligence has in this entire courtroom. Not that it's impressive, not that it's advanced, but that within a single generation, billions of people have already decided they don't want to live without it. No other invention in this debate achieved that kind of quiet, voluntary surrender that fast. Not the automobile, not electricity, not even the smartphone. AI didn't conquer humanity. Humanity just quietly handed over the keys. And honestly, this entire debate could go either way, depending entirely on what you actually believe progress is supposed to look like. So who wins the trial? If you're judging by how directly an invention reshaped the physical freedom of the average person, the automobile has a case that is genuinely hard to beat. It handed individuals total control over their own distance, on demand, alone, anytime they wanted. If you're judging by quiet, unglamorous, real-world impact on actual human time and labor, the dishwasher deserves dramatically more credit than it ever gets in these conversations. An hour a day, every day, adds up to years of someone's life. Years. And if you're judging by which invention is the first one in human history to genuinely think, adapt, and improve on its own without a human hand directing every single step, then artificial intelligence has the strongest case in this room. And it is the only invention on trial today that is still actively rewriting its own argument while we are having this conversation. So which one actually wins this for you? Drop it in the comments right now. And don't just name it. Tell us why.